This is Subrahmanyan, CEO of L&T. A few weeks ago, he said,
I regret I am not able to make you work on Sundays.
So he wants his employees to work on Sundays and is regretting for not making them to work on Sundays. Also, there was another man who advised youngsters to work for 70 hours a week. He is Mr. Narayana Murthy, co-founder of Infosys.
Our youngsters must say, this is my country. I want to work 70 hours a week.
Actually, according to Indian labor law, a person has to work for 48 hours a week. That is 8 hours a day, which includes half an hour for lunch. But these corporate leaders want us to work for more than 12 hours.
I work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow.
So 140 hours.
These statements had got a severe criticism on social media. Not only that, this raises question about the mindset of the corporate leaders. Are they really concerned about the health of their employees?
Working long hours is killing 750,000 people every year.
It's a very big problem when all the big talk happens at the top, but the implementation starts from the bottom.
You have robots to work for you 15 hours a day. We are humans, we have life too.
Also, in a recent survey conducted by 121 Help Group, about 90% of employees under age 25 suffer from anxiety. If you see the list of countries with highest working hours, Bhutan is the first country with an average of 54.4 hours per week. But these corporate leaders want us to work for 70 to 90 hours a week. So this is the national-wide debate, and we are going to talk about a toxic work culture. Last year, July 2024, a 26-year-old chartered accountant died because of work pressure. Actually, she joined the company only 4 months before, and also it is the first company for her to work. Initially, some had misconception that it was a suicide, but it's not. She died because of cardiac arrest. This was mentioned in the letter written by her mom to the EY's chairman, in which she also mentioned about the excessive workload and the work assigned to Anna Sebastian by the manager apart from the official work. Not only that, she was trying to prove herself in the new environment, and also she was pushing herself beyond the limit. The letter was written in the purpose of bringing change in the work culture so that none of the family will go through the trauma that they had faced. But on Jan 2025, CEO of L&T said,
On HR, why is L&T still making employees work on Saturdays even after being one of the largest conglomerates and the face of India's business world? I regret I am not able to make you work on Sundays, to be honest. If I can make you work on Sundays, I'll be more happier. I work on Sundays also. What do you do sitting at home? How long can you stare at your wife? How long can the wife stare at your husband? Come on, get to the office and start working. I was meeting with the Chinese recently, and the gentleman told me, we will beat America anytime. I said, why are you saying that? The Americans work 50 hours a week, we work 90 hours a week. I was a little stunned at his answer. So that's the answer for you. You've got to be on top of the world. You've got to make the fastest, biggest, longest, the largest, everything like that. You've got to work 90 hours a week. Get going, guys. Come on.
So according to his calculation, if we consider 6 days of work, then we have to work for 15 hours a day. If we include the travel hours too, it will be ranging from 17 to 18 hours a day. So let's do a simple calculation. For a week in total, we have 168 hours. To work efficiently, every person needs 8 hours of sleep. So for a week, it is 56 hours. According to Subrahmanyan, employees has to work for 90 hours. Also, for travel to and from the office, it may take 2 to 3 hours. If we separate all these hours, we will be only left with 10 hours for 6 days, in which we have to cook, eat, clean, bath and take care of your family and all other chores, which is impossible. Anna Sebastian was so stressful because she was working 14 hours a day and 7 days in a week. So from this, it is evident that working for more hours a day can cause you lot of health issues, and if it is your bad time, it may even cause death. I didn't say this. United Nations in 2021 report said long working hours can cause death, and Anna Sebastian death is the live example. Now let us put these statements aside and see what happens when you work for long hours. In the Economic Survey 2024 to 2025 presented by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman suggested that working for 16 hours a week can impact individuals' mental well-being and affect productivity. And also, International Labour Organization and World Health Organization says that they had found sufficient amount of evidence that people who work for 55 hours a week have high risk of getting heart attacks when compared to the people who work for 35 to 40 hours a week. So it is scientifically proven that more working hours can cause mental and physical problems. You work so hard to get good name, to earn money and to get a better future, but for that you are spoiling your health. Once you are not healthy, it becomes difficult for you to take care of your family. Maybe your parents could be old or any other person in your family can have any other health issues, but you can't take care of them because your health will be in a worse condition. I don't even know whether a person would have a good health to enjoy his own earned money at the age of his 30s. Because they are working for more than 12 hours a day. If you work for more than 12 hours a day, then you will be reaching your home late. You eat late and sleep later. In case if your office is too far away from your home, then you have to wake up earlier for the next morning, which creates lack of sleep, and eating unhealthy food at untime will cause us an unhealthy lifestyle. Among the top 5 reasons for increase in heart attacks among the youth, unhealthy lifestyle is one of the reasons. As I said earlier, you work so hard to get good name from your boss. At the end, you will be spoiling your health, which also causes lot of issues in your family, which increases your stress and anxiety levels. Then your performance will be poor in the workspace. Since your performance is poor in your workspace, you will be laid off. Just imagine, you sacrificed lot of things, you not even considered your health. You put lot of efforts to grow their company, but in return, they kicked you from their company. This happened in the case of Anna Sebastian too. During her final funeral, none of the employees was present. She had given her all to the company, but no one was present during her final moments to pay their respects. So if you work for long hours, your health will surely get affected. Apart from the salary, you get nothing. Now let's speak about the 7 days of work. 51 crore. This is the salary of SN Subrahmanyan, which he got as compensation for year 2024. It is 534 times higher than the median salary of L&T employees. Also, this is 43% higher when compared to the previous year, while his employees only get rise of 1.74%. With this, he is expecting his employees to work on Sundays like him. And also there is a question raises when he asks his employees to work for extra hours or extra days, what is the incentive that he gave to his employees? Even if we give his employees incentives, they can't be productive by working for 12 to 15 hours. Productivity and working hours don't rise linearly. Productivity diminishes for every extra working hours. In India, there was an act known as Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020, which states that workers should be paid double their regular wage for overtime work. This act actually limits the maximum working hours to 8 hours per day. Not only that, it also has other beneficiaries. In case if you are not aware about this, I will leave the link in the description. You can check it. This OCH Code Act was enacted but still not implemented fully in India. Therefore, companies are still following the Factories Act 1948, which was forced in year 1949. But this act also mandates double the wages for their employees who work overtime and 48 hours of work for a week. Anyhow, both the laws states the same regulation. But the question here is, how many companies are following this? Also, Mr. Narayana Murthy said to work for 70 hours a week to match the productivity of the developed nations. But the shocking truth is, none of the top 15 tech companies mandated such a long working hours. During 2022 to 2023, Infosys didn't give salary hikes to their employees. They said that due to the poor market condition, they couldn't give hikes to their employees. But their profits grew every year. This is the report published by Infosys. If you see here, there is a constant increase in their company's profit. If a company is making profits, it should reward its employees, not to freeze the salary of them, because they are the reason for the growth. Also, in financial year 2022, Infosys hired 54,000 candidates, which is highest in the history. But this raises a question that why they can't increase the salary of the existing employees when they have money to raise the headcounts aggressively. Not only that, if you see the graph carefully, the employees count was reduced from 343k to 317k from the previous year. About 25,000 employees quit Infosys. This is known as attrition rate. Employees will leave the company because of poor job quality, inadequate compensation, lack of career progression opportunities, and dissatisfaction with work culture. Even though Infosys showed strong profits every year, they chose not to reward their employees and wanted them to work for 70 hours a week without any proper compensation. If the market is really in bad condition, then why didn't the profit percentage of Infosys drop? If this company says that the market is in bad condition, it's not that they are not making profits. Actually, they are making profits. The only thing is the reduction in profit percentage. They will fix a target. If they couldn't reach the target, then they will be laying off and they will be freezing the salary of their employees to attain that goal. You can see here, the profit of Infosys rises constantly over years, but still they chose not to reward their employees. This is how most of the companies in India is working. Also, I want to highlight a point. The decision of hiring and hike is not done by Mr. Narayana Murthy. It was done by the board members of Infosys. So what is the exact solution for this? I think it doesn't have any exact solution because you are a small part in a huge company. If you raise any concerns, it will surely affect your job, but it can be controlled by the government policies. And in countries like France and Australia, right to disconnect was followed. This allows you to refuse the communication related to your work after the working hours. And the strict implementation of Act like OHC 2020 can help the laborers to reduce the working hours. Also, companies want to value the quality of work more than the quantity. Spending more time on the desk doesn't mean that they are more productive. The more the time they spend on the work, they will be getting burned out and they will be less productive. Also, companies want to give them proper incentives for the extra work they are doing. And the important part is the mindset of leaders. If they are in the highest position, they have to take responsibility for the health and safety of their employees. Because the employee who works under you can be the first graduate or he may have a family. If something happens to him, you are responsible. Not only that, leaders has to understand everyone has a life outside the work. Telling them to work on Sundays is not right at all. Because you are committed to do the work for a large amount of money. And it's your responsibility to stay up to date with everything to make right decisions. You can't stop working on Sundays. I know it's stressful, but you willingly made that decision. Finally, what I'm trying to say is,
ask me what's the quality of my work. Don't ask me how many hours I work.